Hello everyone. It's 2:09 p.m. in the afternoon. So well okay. Hold up. Well, out here right now, it's like the heat that feels good. But last night it was a little bit cool. Almost on the verge of being cold enough to be uncomfortable for me, but not quite, It was a little bit cooler. So, well, today's Saturday. I gotta remind myself that today is Saturday. So, yeah, the library closes at 5, but, so I didn't get to explain, like, everything, So, like, basically, I kind of forgot what happened. Oh, yeah, I kind of remember what happened the night before last. But, so, bear with me because I'm still sleep deprived and really tired. So I didn't get to, tell y'all about, but, yeah, so yesterday morning when I was on, I think it rained yesterday morning. Yeah, it rained yesterday morning in the middle of the night, and I had to leave from downtown early, like in the middle of the night, like 1:30 in the morning, to leave from the bench downtown to take the Algiers bus to get over to the Gretna bus terminal, and then I sat there and like I was sleep deprived and tired, and I started to doze off and fall asleep myself. But I was sitting up and like sitting up on the in the seating area, the bench or whatever, and I was like nodding off and trying to fight sleep. So they had this person that I guess he was like an undercover cop, and he had a regular truck, but he didn't have the he had a regular truck, but he didn't have the police vehicle. But I couldn't tell whether or not he was dressed up in a police uniform or not. And they had a homeless man that was laying on a bench, sleeping right across from me. And the man, I don't know if he was actually a police officer, but he narcissistically yelled at the black guy and threatened him. And then at the same time, he had his elbow hanging out of the window, and I didn't get to film or record or take any pictures of the fake wannabe police officer or whatever. But it's like, if it's in the middle of the night, if someone's homeless, like, and they fall asleep. Like, where the hell are we supposed to sleep at? It's like they want to criminalize us for existing. You know, and I felt really bad for the homeless man, you know. And it's like he basically threatened that the homeless man, you know. And so, and he was like, had such, you know, viciousness and hostility, you know, towards the homeless man. Excuse me, for sleeping on a bench. But I see homeless people sleeping at the terminal all the time, you know. But he threatened that homeless man, said something about, if I catch you slipping again, I'm gonna make you walk. You understand? Like, talking to him like that, or something like that, you know. I'm gonna make you get up and walk. You understand? Like, he talked to him like a freaking middle school or like an elementary school kid or something, you know. So then, after he yelled at the homeless black man, then he was driving around the terminal, on and off the terminal, like, and driving around in circles, creepily and weird. You know, he was being like creepy. The whatever fake officer or whatever was being creepy and weird. And then afterwards, they had the actual fake Gretna police vehicle, number 633, that fake Masonic 33. Yeah, so then it was time for the bus to come. And, well, the bus I was supposed to take. Excuse me. And they had that bus driver yesterday morning. She didn't warn us and say, hold on, don't get on the bus, y'all. Just wait, because we got another bus coming. We got to transfer to another bus. No, what she did was, she said she let everybody get on the bus and pay their fare. And then, like 2 or 3 minutes later, she told everybody that we all had to switch buses. And so then, you know, when we got up to switch the bus, what she did was, she was like blocking me or obstructing me from, like, I hate when the bus drivers, for this and the New Orleans, the RTA, when they're standing like halfway in the aisle and they have that, what do you call that thing, that door that opens, like the clear, it's not exactly plexiglass, but, you know, the clear door that they have, the door that they have, like, certain buses is clear and certain buses is black. But they have like a little door between where the bus driver sits, you know, I guess to prevent passengers from like robbing or assaulting the bus driver or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, she was blocking me on purpose. And like what the gang stalking cult criminals do is they invade your personal space or they invade your personal space or block you from freely moving or going where you need to go, and then they want to try to force you to squeeze through a small space. So she acted like as if she was getting her stuff, you know, and she was blocking me from being able to pass through, or I had very little space to pass through. And this is the bus driver that was super nice to me between the years of 2017 and 18. But then when I came back in 2023, she turned out to be a full-fledged perp. And like abusive and narcissistic, like when I very first came back to New Orleans in October 2023. She treated me so filthy and nasty, it was unbelievable back in 2023. So I think they turned her into a gang stalker because she used to love me and she never used to give me a problem. Me and her used to have conversations on the bus and now like her attitude towards me changed, but she's nice and normal towards everybody else. But excuse me, they made my chin itch. So she like yesterday she was getting her stuff, but she was blocking me, so I was standing there waiting for her to get her stuff so I could pass through. And then she was still getting her stuff, but halfway blocking where it was like, you know, been such small space for me to pass through. Wow. And then she got an attitude and screamed at me and said, she got an attitude and screamed at me and said, "Come on!" Like she had her face twisted up mad and she's like, "Come on!" towards me. But she would, you know, talking, laughing, and smiling and being normal with other passengers and everybody else. But because it was me, she acted like that. You know. So, yeah, like when I have altercations with abusive narcs and perps, narcissistic abusers and gang stalkers, and then they invade my space and give me very little space to pass through, and then they try to antagonize and provoke a fight, and they won't let me pass through, and they be like, "You have more than enough space to pass through." I'm like, "No, you're giving me little to no space to pass through," and then you're telling me you got more than enough space to pass through. And, you know, and then they do that for fat shaming as well, you know, to mock my weight or whatever, you know. So yeah, that was the so I said that I was gonna explain in a later video or another video, excuse me, of you know what she did to me. So excuse me. But so yesterday evening, I was trying to get help for trying to live stream and get the help that I needed, and I thought that I thought that if I tried that spot over there, you know, I thought it would be like better than when I was by the aquarium, you know. And so, excuse me, just like with the homeless perp, everybody sided with him, you know, but like, it's like I ended up losing supporters yesterday, you know, including Just, you know, him being fake and cowardly and everything, you know. It's like, how the hell could you not tell that she's a perp? For you to try to downplay and gaslight and discredit me and try to tell me that she wasn't a perp but just having a bad day. You know. And it's like, excuse me, if they planted her there on purpose to distract and sabotage me from fighting for my survival and getting help with hotel nights and stuff, you know, and then I lost support because, you know, I lost a lot of support. I mean, and then the stalking cult criminals illegally hacked in and was blocking comments really hard and stuff, you know. And they probably were lagging the stream also, you know. So what happened was, you know, I was doing my live stream and I turned my back away because I said I didn't want to, I try my best to not view the gang stalking cult criminals illegally driving by in the traffic, and I was trying to not be distracted, you know. And so I showed y'all that 2 transit buses back to back, you know, they were right back to back, passing by and dropping people off and stuff. And she came from out of nowhere, like what seemed like, okay, when the 2 buses passed by, she wasn't there. And then a few minutes later, oh, come on, man. Right when I'm talking about the situation, they're sitting on the fly to harass me. And then 2 minutes later, I'm sorry, not 2 minutes. I was trying to say about 5 minutes later, they had that lady come and sit nearby and start smoking. And she started smoking. I mean, she it's like she wasn't smoking until after she sat down. She waited till after she sit down to light up the cigarette. Just like that's a perp tactic, what they do. Wait till they get near the target. And then the gang stalking script after. They didn't start saying this until after I got wrongfully jailed last year, when the stalking cult criminals prank called and lied and said that they owned that house, that abandoned house where I got wrongfully arrested and thrown in jail. They lied and said that they owned that house, and everybody started talking about, oh, stay off other people's property, or talking about private property or whatever. But, you know, and so ever since after that situation, that was when, you know, in-person perps try to talk about, they do their perp antics or whatever, and then the gang stalking script is, this is public property, you know. So like, oh, this is public property, you know, and that's, you know, gang stalker script to try to trigger, you know. So that what that lady did was she strategically waited until after she missed both of those buses on purpose, just to come and sit down near me and light up a cigarette and distract my mission, you know, with trying to get help. And then, you know, and then she strategically waited until after she sat down and got comfortable and smoked a cigarette. And I told y'all about her, and she probably was saying stuff, and I had my earbuds in at first, you know. And so then I noticed she inched closer towards me with the cigarette, and then, you know, y'all saw the rest. And so, you know, excuse me, they had so many people in the comments that certain newcomers in the comments too. How the hell you gonna come in my live stream and talk bad about me, like as if you're talking bad about me behind my back in my own live stream when you think I ain't paying attention? That's like whenever I get illegally swatted by the police, and then people in the comments talking bad about me and gossiping about me, like they think I don't see. And then they be trying to hide the comments from me, you know. I had to block so many people and was pissed off and frustrated at so many people yesterday evening. And then the stalking cult criminals, they were illegally blocking comments as well. You know, so that lady, excuse me, after she had, after the buses passed by, she kept on pretending like she was standing walk towards the middle of the street to see if a bus was coming. And that was fake street theater and her just pretending and playing. Like, how the hell you come to sit close by me just to aggravate and annoy me and stuff? And I'm like, I don't even know if she could have, like that, if she, there were other things she could have gone to do. You know, it's like, well, she missed that bus and was gonna wait 2 hours for a Lapalco, or did she just deliberately and on purpose miss that West Bank Expressway bus just to be annoying, a ghetto annoying troll? And then she illegally stole the upper hand, you know. And so if she didn't take, if she really would have wanted to get away from me, how come she didn't just get on the West Bank Expressway bus and then ask for a transfer and just maybe wait in Gretna for the wait in Gretna for the for the Lapalco bus to come? But then she tried to play a fake charade or a fake street theater to lie and say I was harassing her when she was planted there, just like that homeless man that was planted where he was planted at about a week or two ago, and I had the altercation. Like, they did that shit on purpose. Excuse me, you know. And so for her to lie and say, you are harassing me. Well, like, so, like, everybody telling me I should go walk away. Hi, when I was sitting there long before her, and I had gotten off the bus, and I was, trying to live stream and try to ask for help, and the gang stalking cult criminals sent her and planted her to do what she did. And then she tried to talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna call the police on you for loitering at the bus stop. But then she sat there and let that West Bank Expressway bus pass by, and y'all saw she was trying to flag down the police. She was trying to flag down the police. But then, I don't know what they told her, but she said, oh, I sure thank you. But the police, they're corrupt. They've been gang stalking as well. And NOPD is corrupt. Gretna police is corrupt. Jefferson Parish, they're all corrupt. And all the cops are corrupt because they're satanic, sellout, devil-worshipping Freemasons, cult criminals themselves. We got criminals enforcing the law. And speaking of cops, I heard they said that that British and Australian cops are worse than the cop tyranny here in America. They're making my chin itch. They're worse than the police tyranny here in America, But yeah, I was attacked online yesterday. Yesterday and the day before, attacked and harassed online, on YouTube and Twitter. And, and all the abusive comments, excuse me, and harassing and all that, and they keep saying no violations found. But if I quote, the Bible scripture that says ye must be born again, that gets taken down for community guideline violations. But anyway, if that lady did not do what she did, and then also she waited until nobody else was there, and she sat kind of close to me. She waited till nobody else was there. She sat somewhat close, but she was like close enough. She was close enough to where the cigarette will be bothersome. And I have OCD, and for me to sanitize a certain spot, and then I'm like, wow, so I have to be the one to get up and then use more rubbing alcohol to spray and sanitize to go sit somewhere else? Because the gang stalking cult criminals, if I would have sat somewhere else, they do the same thing somewhere else. You know? So that lady, she wanted trouble. She wanted a fight. She wanted war. Like she was planted there on purpose to sabotage, me getting help. And then in the process, me losing subscribers, me losing supporters, everybody falsely thinking that I'm the one with the nasty attitude or the troublemaker picking fights or whatever, when she was planted there to smoke near me. And people say that she got her gang stalking gift card for the day. She probably got the gang stalking gift card for more cigarettes, and she probably do drugs. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then they had the fake trafficking perps with the fake Mississippi license plate. I was already filming my perp walk, or I was live streaming, and then they were trying to film and record me and then try to be intimidating and threatening. They had a fake Mississippi license plate, And then, but I'm glad I had a great dinner. I had birria tacos, and they were really, and I had some pineapple juice, and it was really good. And I was given a free dessert, but bread pudding, I can't, I gag on the texture and can't excuse me, I'm hypersensitive to certain food textures, so I couldn't eat the bread pudding. But the flavor was good, and it was nice and warm. But I couldn't eat. I was like gagging on it. I couldn't eat it. I'm sorry, but but yeah. So but I'm angry that people acting like as if they wanted to side with the lady yesterday and acting like she was not perping when she did all the dead giveaway obvious stuff, like calling me crazy, mocking me being homeless, and whatever else other stuff she did, So, but last night they had a guy, a homeless guy a homeless perp sitting by the bench that I usually sit at. But then I didn't publicize the videos because he was nice and respectful. I'm like, well, if he was nice and respectful, maybe he wasn't a perp. But but I apologized to him, and said, well, I'm sorry that, this is where I usually sit, because I tried as best as I could to make things as comfortable as possible in uncomfortable situations. But they have had situations where, especially with me being new to street homelessness, the first time I really, really had to deal with being homeless on the streets overnight. Well, it happened a night or two in downtown New Orleans. I was like, I think I was 19 going on 20. And that was just for a couple of nights, and it was a frightening moment. But that was the first time I ever in my entire life had to suffer any street homelessness. But no, I was 18 years right after Christmas. But I wasn't homeless on the streets for a few nights. Like I was the biological mom Frances kicked me out of her house, and then I was stranded for a couple of hours, and the fake foster mom Adrian Felder went to pick me up. And she yelled at me and said, "Crazy people can't even tolerate your ass." Because the fake foster mom, she called me crazy and the biological mom Frances crazy. you know. So she's like, crazy people can't even tolerate your ass. So then, yeah, so I was 19 years old and I was homeless on the streets for like a couple of nights. And then I was homeless on the streets for like a night or two in Long Beach, California in 2012. And then I was the first time like going, I don't know, I was homeless on the streets for 9 days in an unfamiliar area in Greenville, South Carolina, and fearing for my life. And I could have been arrested any day just for being homeless. And I was on the streets for 9 days. But the first time of being chronically street homeless, I became homeless on July 31st, 2018, and was homeless with the exception of, sometimes I might have had a place to stay, but I thought that apartment in Pensacola was going to be permanent housing, but it only lasted a month due to the gang stalking, so I've concluded that the gang stalking cult criminals won't allow me to keep, permanent housing. And see what that lady did me yesterday evening? She perped me away from that spot and illegally demanded control. And she bullied me and intimidated and threatened me away, Hi. And, that's the type of stuff when the perp neighbors bully you out of your own home and make you feel unsafe to go back. So the stalking cult criminals probably told her to go over there. Come over by me and harass me. And that's why they call it covert harassment, because the target knows that the gang stalkers are doing and saying things to bother them, but then the public, try to gaslight and think you're crazy and make it like, what, this woman minding her business smoking, she ain't even bothering you. She's close by, close enough, and she know what the hell she doing. So, but they always resort to saying you're crazy and belong in a nut house and stuff, or you need medication. So, just like the gang stalking script is to tell me to get a job while they're trafficking and won't let me work, and their version of getting a job mean get OnlyFans and sell your body and sell your soul and stuff. That's their version of go get a job. While they will not let me work. They wouldn't let me work at the grocery store or nothing. So my legs they're even more swollen since I've been on the streets. And they're so swollen I could barely walk. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm sorry. So, wow, everybody coming out at the same time. I could barely walk, y'all. Oh, my feet are numb and damn, I can't even freaking walk. And she's sitting there smacking freaking. I don't know if there was like a meeting or something. Hi. My feet went numb. My legs they're swollen. So yeah, that lady was planted there to sabotage me getting help. Sabotage me from getting help. On purpose, And I wouldn't be surprised if that lady practiced witchcraft or voodoo. Because when they even have elderly people prostituting, So So yeah, last night the guy was respectful or whatever. But other than that, like later last night, I got up. I think it was 3:15. I got up from the sleep spot, and I couldn't sleep anyway. I don't know why I call it a sleep spot, you know. But yeah. So excuse me. They what else was I gonna say? Excuse me. So yeah, this morning they planted that guy at the bus stop. He sat closer to me than she did, and he had like his cigarette smelled so bad that, you know how they have the fart toy, the stink bomb fart toy? His cigarette smelled worse than that. And I'm like, well, that's the worst freaking, and it was nauseating me, you know. So, well, the bus was coming in like 10 minutes, and I wasn't live streaming trying to get help at that time. So I stepped away, and I turned around and looked, and like 5 more people came, and all of them were smoking cigarettes. You know, so yeah, they like to do and say stuff on purpose to make you mad and upset and trigger you, and then, you know, and then when you naturally get upset, you know, I'm hypersensitive, so it's harder for me to tune them out and ignore. Excuse me, you know. So yeah, yesterday they had smart-ass, narcissistic, control freak, fake TI perps that try to condemn me and tell me stop using the term gang stalking. And then they try to be like, oh, gang stalking is a disinformation term that the CIA created to discredit us empowered individuals. We're chosen by God, and, you know, we're not targeted, we're not victims and stuff like that, you know. But then the people who say that be the ones who sold out to the Freemasons and be acting like controlled opposition with the Freemasons. But then they be sellouts, fake Masonic, satanic sellouts themselves, pretending to be Christian and targeted, you know. So if they got people yelling at me and say, stop using that term gang stalking, oh, you're a part of the problem. Well, good. Why the fuck you still subscribe? Why the hell you still following me? They strategically wait till after I start wearing this shirt. They wait till after I start wearing the shirt to yell at me and say, stop using that term gang stalking. Oh, let's call it this from now on. Or let's call it that from now on. Oh, well, okay, community stalking. Okay, I call it I call them stalking cult criminals, okay? Sex traffickers. That's what they are. Satanic sex trafficking cult criminals. That's what they are. So, excuse me. Yeah. So, like, thankfully, this morning, well, one interesting thing about Vietnamese food, I read that the Vietnamese people, their menu is more like the same for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, cause I was wondering, where's the breakfast food? Or what do they eat for breakfast? So I had Vietnamese food is much healthier than Chinese food. Like, you got the fresh vegetables and the clean meat, and like everything is like much healthier. Like the Chinese food, it'd be like overly salty or overly sweet or too much fat or fried or this or that, you know. So I had a beef vermicelli rice bowl with like a lot of fresh vegetables in it, and they had a little bit of peanuts in it, and it had and they gave me some kind of little sauce with it, but it was really good. And I had a unique kind of orange juice, you know. And I mean, I just my body felt like I wanted to eat something healthier, you know. I'm sorry it costed a little more, but my body, I was craving something healthier. I didn't want to eat Illuminati fake fast food, you know. Excuse me. And I'm more limited on places where I could go now. So, I got like about less than 3 hours of sleep, like maybe less than 2 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. You know, I'm probably 2.5 hours of sleep. And I'm still feeling deprived feeling. I have partially enough for dinner. And I need more of my hygiene items. They're still blocking me from getting hotel help. And like, I'm sorry for TMI, but my underclothes are bloody. And I'm dirty and stinky, and I mean, well, I smell bad now because I'm menstruating and y'all won't let me have a shower. Y'all won't let me have a hotel where I could get clean and get my laundry done. And y'all think this is funny. Y'all think this is a game. Monday's the court date. I'm panicking. You know, they expect, the stalking cult criminals expect for me to go to court with dirty clothes. They want me to go to court with dirty clothes and think it's funny. And I don't have any place where I could put my belongings. Excuse me. This is a different court, so I mean, you can't bring much you can't bring much of nothing in there. You know, so I need to be able to have the hotel or whatever. I could take a shower. I could take a shower. I could get rest. I can get my clothes washed. I can have a safe place to put my belongings. And, they're stopping me from getting help. So I still need help with hotel and everything. Since I was forced to be on the streets last night, now I'm asking for 3 nights of hotel plus funds for laundry plus, it's like all these people in the world, not even in the world, but all these people in America, and nobody can help me. So the gang stalking cult criminals, they they caused the problem for the target, and then making like as if the target caused problems for everybody else. Or they make like the target cause their own internal problems and conflict, when it's actually them doing stuff behind the covert things behind the scenes, But you know what? I'm going to still use the term gang stalking, and fuck y'all. Because you fake T.I. perp satanic sellouts, you sell out in an instant. And then when you try to silence people and bully people and try to boss and control people, narcissistically boss and control people, and trying to silence and bully people and trying to bully and shame people into silence that's still being targeted, and then you get more fame in the so-called T.I. community. Excuse me. More fake fame, the popular fakes. in the so-called TI community, you know, while they try to how can they try to make, and then they be the main ones to tell you shut up and ignore, but they be trying to silence you and try to guilt you or try to manipulate for you to feel ashamed of documenting your own targeting. And then they want to talk about you make the TI community look bad. Well, I've concluded that since this gang stalking is spiritual, then it's never since it's a spiritual thing, it's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. So, but anyway, though, Monday is the fake court date, and I'm guessing that I'm supposed to get paid somewhere between Wednesday and Friday, the Social Security check. You know, it only lasts a few days because of my predicament. But if I had permanent housing, then I could, you know, stretch the whole, mostly, depends, I can mostly try to stretch it, you know, the whole month. So, but you know, they're blocking me from having permanent housing, and you know, they run you out of your own home, they run you out of the job, they run you out of homeless shelters. If you got a homeless sleep spot, they try to run you off the homeless sleep spot, you know. And so, but yeah, I'm gonna end up needing to get like well, I'm gonna end up like Monday. I'm hoping that I don't know what the judges are gonna do, but I'm still praying that they drop the fake criminal charges, and I don't know if they're gonna throw me in jail or if they're gonna let me stay free but force me to pay fake fines. But I'm hoping that they drop the fake charges. So I hope they drop the fake charges, and if they do, you know, and the stalking cult criminals, they bragged about working with the judge in order to do me in. So Monday, if you don't hear from me past Monday, that means they took me into jail. And you know, so I have to put in the community post or something the information. I mean, you know, like what the location of, possibly the location of jail, if I'm forced to have to go, you know, on Monday. Because I heard a lot of TIs be falsely framed with crooked perp judges, and I don't know if the judge is a perp or not because I never met her. But the Gretna judge, I don't know if he's a perp or not. I don't know. But like, but a lot of court judges be abusive, narcissistic. Not all, I don't know about all of them, but a lot of them be like abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. And I heard you got to be a Freemason first to be a court judge. You got to be a Freemason first before you become like mayor, governor, you know, and do like crooked things in order to get those positions, you know. But so wait a minute, we got criminals enforcing the law and punishing people. Like, if y'all do satanic rituals, that's far more criminal. Satanic rituals and trafficking, that's far more criminal than a little traffic ticket, you know, something small. And if someone didn't even mean to commit that traffic infraction, or what they call it, I hope I'm saying the right word, but if they didn't mean to commit that small little, you know, traffic violation, like we're driving in a car, not human traffic. I'm not talking about, you know, traffic violation like driving your car or something, you know. So anyway, on Wednesday, I'm supposed to get the Social Security check. I don't know yet, but they're supposed to raise the money slightly. but I don't know yet. They're supposed to raise the money slightly, but I don't know if I should wait until after October 8th to try to get me like some new shoes with my own money. Get me some new shoes and some sweatpants, and or I don't know if I should wait until like November to get sweatpants, but I love this weather the way it feels today, and I'm sure gonna miss it, and I'm not looking forward to winter, and so I would like to try to get myself a new pair of shoes. And I don't know if I should wait to get more sweatpants. And then I have certain other important things that I need to get for like my health and wellness. But I guess I should have to wait until after October 8th, because of that fake court date. But between the 1st and the 8th, I guess I just spend the money on the little bills that I have in survival, and then the other stuff that I need, I guess I'll just wait till later if I'm not wrongfully. See, they're making the wind stronger. If I'm not wrongfully thrown in jail. I'm sorry about the fake strong wind that they're manufacturing. But yeah. I'm like taking everything one day at a time, and like don't know what to expect, and like frightened. I feel scared, And the stalking cult criminals were threatening to do me stuff. I didn't even put the harassing, threatening screenshot. I didn't put it in the community post. I forgot, but I still have them, But I try to make my main thing. I'm trying to get help, But it's 3:01 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm trying to figure out what else I need to say, but as I said, I still need help with more hotel nights, especially at least tomorrow and tomorrow night and Monday night. But there were a couple of times when I had the fake court date where I didn't even get to get the hotel and didn't have anywhere where I could put my stuff, and had to deal with the harassment, and they to be forced to have to see. They got a fake perp with the arm hanging out the window, and then outsiders try to make it like as if the tactics that the perps are doing is harmless. But they do this stuff to let you know they're stalking and watching, But I need any and all the help I could get. I'm still fighting to raise funds for help. So it looks like, I have part of enough funds for dinner, but I need enough to make ends meet for dinner. And I can't stay around and live stream here at the library because I don't want them illegally swatting me again. So they're trying to make it like where I can't live stream anywhere. And there've been moments where I don't need any money, and I try to live stream just to talk to y'all and try to communicate with y'all and try to relate to y'all and tell y'all how I'm doing. And they don't even like that. And they want to be traffickers and pimps and keep people socially isolated. People don't believe me until they see something happen. And so situations like yesterday and the situations like the other day, people try to make it like as if I'm the one that's the chief aggressor, or that I was the one who started with that lady. But they got some of y'all who knew that she came over there, with the perp and covert harassment, covert torture. But I love y'all. I'm gonna get off here. And still, I need any and all the help I could get. And I'm gonna see if I can live stream for help after I get across the river. All right, I love y'all. Bye.